Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Spiritual Sunday on HMG Podcast. I hope everybody's having a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in this world. First thing we need to do is cut the music. Cut it. Here we go. Let's talk. Today I want to read to you an excerpt from the Bible. It's the book of Ecclesiastes. And I have a few things I want to talk with you about today on Spiritual Sunday. We're going to have like three main topics that I want to discuss with you. But the first is we'll just take one little excerpt from the Bible for Spiritual Sunday. We got to have an excerpt. All right. So it's not just me talking. What's the good book say? And so where we're going to go is we're going to go to Ecclesiastes, and we're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Oh, this is a classic. Some of you may know this one. Some of you may not. So I'll give you a second. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Turn to it if you have the old school book where you turn the pages, or you go to your app, right? So Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Phenomenal chapter. We're only going to read the first 9 verses. And it goes like this. For every matter, there's an appointed time, even a time for every pursuant under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for battle and a time for peace. What does the worker gain from his toil? So we just stop there. There is a time for everything. And it's in its season, and we see that in the heavens. We see that at night, right? The sun, and then we see the moon. We see it in the seasons, in the fall, and the winter, in the spring, and the summer. And so, this short little excerpt from Ecclesiastes chapter 3 just let us know it's that time. Why does that person have to leave this planet? It's the time. Why does that relationship fall apart? I guess it's time. It's run its course. And so we have to understand that things happen in their right season. And I hope that this is just a little bit of an encouragement to let you know that it's okay. It's time. It's time for us sometimes, right? It's time where we need to spend a little bit of time with ourselves. And then it's time we need to be with others. So that was part of Spiritual Sunday. Just wanted to read Ecclesiastes because so often when we go through difficult moments in our life and we scratch our head and we can't fathom and comprehend why is this happening, I guess it's just time. It was meant to be. And so today I want to just have a conversation with you on Spiritual Sunday about some of the basic universal laws. For an example, a basic universal law is this: cause and effect. What goes up must come down. That's a universal law. I don't care who you are, rich or poor, young or old. Doesn't make a difference. It's a universal law. If you throw it up, it's going to come down. If you jump off a building, you're going to hit the ground. Like, it's just universal. Here's another universal law is what you reap is what you sow, or rather what you sow is what you reap. The universe doesn't play games with us like that. If you plant an apple seed, hopefully, prayerfully, you'll get an apple tree. Doesn't mean every time you plant a seed, you're going to get a tree. But it doesn't play games with us. It doesn't say, well, if you plant an apple seed, let's wait during harvest time and see if we're going to get an orange tree, we're going to get a banana, we're getting some grapes. No, the universal law. What you plant is what you reap. What you sow is what you reap. What you reap is what you sow. Universal. So that goes with the whole concept of karma. What you put out, you get back. All right. So we have the universal law, we have the concept of what you reap is what you sow. What about this one? We have choices. We choose. We're constantly choosing. There's cause and effect. Because I did this, hence this happened. Cause and effect. You hit them, they hit you back. You dropped the plate, it broke. You cheated, they left. You came to work late, you were fired. It's cause and effect. It is accountability. It is not blaming it on the constellations. Why did this happen? Yeah, it's a time. But what did I do to play a role in why things are going the way that they happen to go? Cause and effect. It's just universal laws. Not to get super complicated. There is a blessing in being obedient. And there's a curse for disobedience. This is the commonality that we all have to remember. If I do the right thing, there should be a reward. Does that mean every time that I do the right thing that I get rewarded? No, just like every time you plant a seed doesn't mean you're going to get a tree. But prayerfully, if you keep doing it, you will reap what you sowed. And that's the universal law. Cause and effect, choices, or rather free will, whatever you want to call it, decision making. But also, there is a blessing in obedience, and there is a curse in disobedience. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the scripture of Deuteronomy chapter 28. It's all about the blessings of obedience and the curse of disobedience. I don't know if you're all familiar with the story of, you've got to be familiar with it. It's Adam and Eve, right? That's the great story. The first story about there's a blessing in obedience. Stay here in the Garden of Eden. And now there's a curse for disobedience. Get out. And that's the universal law. I want to read to you one last excerpt from the old book, the good book, the oldest book. It is Joshua chapter 1, verse 5 through 9. This is an excerpt of a little encouragement for all of us. But listen to the blessing in obedience and the curse for disobedience. But listen to the blessing. This is a blessing. This is Joshua chapter 1. Moses has died. And now Joshua is in charge of the children of Israel. And so hear this and be encouraged. This is the great one, the creator of all that exists. Yah in heavens of heavens, who created the deep and all that exists. This is the great one speaking with Joshua. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5 through 9. And the great one, Yah says, "No man is going to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, I am with you. I do not fail you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you are to let this people inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous to guard, to do according to all the Torah which Moses, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Do not let this book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous and act wisely. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be discouraged, for the Most High, the Great One, your Elohim, is with you wherever you go." But it's that guard to do. You have to do something. This is the creator, right? The creator is saying, listen, I will be there with you. Be strong and courageous. I will be with you wherever you go. I do not fail you. I do not forsake you. He's saying, listen, I'm with you. However, remember, guard to do. You have something you have to do, and that is being obedient. He says, meditate on my words. Think about my words. You stay close to me. Pay attention to what I've told you. That's the universal law. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. Stay obedient. There's a blessing in this obedience. I will be with you wherever you go. I do not fail you, forsake you. You will hear it again and again. Hear and obey. Don't just be hearers of the word, right? But be doers of the word. That's the universal law. There's a blessing in obedience. And we tell this to our children all the time. Pay attention, do the right thing, right? When children are in school and they've got a fire drill, the teacher's talking to them. All right, we're going to get together in an orderly line. We're going to walk down the stairs and right? Being obedient. You're on an airplane and the flight attendant is telling you, listen, when this mask comes down, put your mask on first and do X, Y, Z. So they're telling you it's a blessing. Now you listen, you can save your life. If you don't, okay, that's it, right? It's a blessing in obedience. There's a curse for disobedience. That is the universal law. That is what the scriptures are constantly telling us. There is a cause and effect. You have choices. You can choose to listen or you can choose not to listen. And when you do not listen, there's a curse and disobedience. And that's what we've learned from the Garden of Eden. That's what we learn in our lives. But just sometimes, because we don't get that punishment instantaneously, we don't think, oh, there's a punishment. And even in the punishment, our great one who created all things is merciful. He knows us. He knows how we are made. One of the things that I love about reading the scriptures is just a reminder of telling me a little bit more about my creator. But then you have Deuteronomy 29 that just tells you the secret matters belong to him in the heavens, but what has been revealed is what we should follow. Sometimes we try to overcomplicate the scriptures and we want to figure out the unknown. And what does that mean? And what do you think? No, listen, just stay with the basics. The basics are those universal laws. Cause and effect. There's a blessing in obedience. There's a curse in disobedience. This universal laws. What you reap is what you sow. Life is about choices. Remember that. It's a spiritual Sunday. I don't want to keep you too long. It's the Super Bowl today. Cincinnati and the Rams. I'm not going to tell you who I'm rooting for. But Cool Joe. I'll just throw that out there. Cool Joe. You know, you got Joe Namath. You got Joe Burrow. I don't know. It's something about the Joes, you know. Tom Brady leaves and young Joe comes on. I'm just calling it now. So I'm rooting for the Bengals. I said it. That's right. I ain't going to fiddle, be on the fence with you. All right, this is before the bowl. I ain't got listen, I'm not on DraftKings. I'm not spending my money and doing that. Make sure you don't get on that stuff. That's a whole nother thing. We're not going to talk about that because this is Spiritual Sunday. We'll have another conversation about all that other stuff. Enjoy your day. I thank you for tuning into HMG Podcast. Follow me on Instagram, Hashem_Garrett. Go to my website, HashimGarrett.com. Email me, HashimGarrett@gmail.com. I'll close like I always do. Whatever is real, unique, has enormous value. And it is the same with you. You are special. Whatever is rare or unique has enormous value. And it is the same with you. You are special. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay well.